and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess, and I'm bringing you a super gift for the holidays with Gifts from the Home, hosted by Life in the Piedmont. And this is also Frugal Living Challenge 25 and a gingerbread Christmas. So this is an adapted recipe. You can adapt it to whatever ingredients that you have available to you. So we're going to get started here, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing today. So this is an adapted recipe. The original recipe can be found in Christmas Gifts of Good Taste, 1997, on page 48. And there it is. So it is a super gift for those that enjoy soup in the winter months. I adapted this recipe to make it a very personal gift, and make it your own. You'll need some clean quart jars and, of course, clean lids, and then assemble your ingredients. I've got a various types of beans and some wild rice, some herbs, and we're going to get this put together, and you can write this down as you go along. And I hope that you enjoy this, but I will also put the ingredients in the description box along with the tag. I've already made out my tags with what is on there. And then on the back of the tag, of course, I write out all the instructions. So I've pulled out 2 jars, and I'm going to start with pinto beans, but you can certainly use red kidney beans or red beans. And you want a 1/2 cup of these beans going into each jar. And I forgot to pull out a funnel, so I'll be using my hands. And I had these left over, so I want to use them up. And you want to make sure that they're leveled in your jar. Let me grab something to set underneath this so it doesn't rattle. There. So when I shake them, they won't rattle. Then I'm going to follow this with some red lentils, a 1/2 cup in each jar. And you're going to layer each ingredient. And I've got just a little bit left over. I'm going to go ahead and dump that in there. The next ingredient will be black beans. Again, I'm using a 1/2 cup of the black beans in each one. And you want to make sure it's leveled in there. It's all about the presentation. I'm going to follow the black beans with some regular lentils. And let me get these bay leaves out of here. Move that out of my way. I've got some wild organic rice. I thought this would be a nice something in there besides beans. And again, I'm going to level my jar. I'm going to add in some whole organic English peas, but you certainly could use split peas in place. And a half a cup of navy beans. Now I'm going over a little bit on the amount of beans going into my jars. So you may have to up the water amount that I'm going to give you. But you could use any beans that you have on hand. Beans, lentils, peas, whatever. And we have our jars filled. And doesn't that look pretty? The pretty colors. So we're going to set this back here. We're going to make up our packets of seasoning mix. All right, I pulled out some little snack bags, but you can certainly use saran wrap or something like that, plastic wrap. And I'm just going to stuff these down in the jar, y'all. They help hold them in place. So whenever you're doing up your seasoning, this is a great way to get them in there. Or you could use a little paper bag with the seasoning in it. But we're going to layer our dry spice ingredients in here. And I'm going to start with the bell pepper flakes. I need 1 tablespoon of dried bell pepper. Now I dried this in my dehydrator. So 1 tablespoon in each one, and you can be a little generous. You don't have to go exactly by the measurements. Measure with your heart. We're going to need 2 teaspoons of a bouillon powder, and I'm going to be using this cold water dissolved beef that I had up on hand, but you can use chicken, a vegetable bouillon, or whatever. And I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons in each of these bags. Now it calls for onion flakes. You can use regular onion flakes, but I have bunching onions that we bought from the Amish, or we harvested from our yard this year. I can't remember. And I'm just going to go in there and with my hand and kind of break up those bigger pieces. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of this with the green to each bag. You can add more or less, but that's going to add a nice addition to these bags. Now you may want to stuff them down in there. Make sure you got room for the next ingredients. I'm also going to put in a tablespoon of soup greens. Now I buy this already mixed. I think I got this from either the little Mennonite store near us, or I purchased it from Azure Standard. I can't remember. But anyway, you're going to put a tablespoon of this in there. And again, you can be generous. It's got carrots and celery and all your seasonings in there, like parsley, things like that. I'm going to add some garlic powder, about a half teaspoon to each jar. So I'm still using my little teaspoon here, but I'm going to measure out about half a teaspoon in that. You don't want to overpower it with the garlic. They can always add more seasoning if they need it. And last ingredient is going to be celery flakes. And again, that is something that I did in my dehydrator. And I'm going to add in, you can add in 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon. I think I'm going to go with a tablespoon. Celery adds such a nice flavor to soups. And so we have created our little gift bags, our little seasoning mix bags. Now all we're going to do, doesn't that look pretty in there? We're going to get all that excess air out. And we're just going to stuff that in the top of the jar, like so. And again, that onion and everything in there just looks so pretty. And stuff it in the top of the jar. Attach our lids. We have a wild rice and bean soup mix ready for a gift or to put on your pantry shelf. I'm going to get rid of these jars and I'll be right back. My packaging really doesn't change from gift to gift because I'm still using those coffee filters. I just think they give a clean look to your jars. And I've already got my tags made up to put on my jars. And I'm just going to slide that on there. And we're going to get these tied on. You want the mix name on the outside of your jar. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this and get it down over your jar and get it tied up. And I'm going to scoot that on in there. I probably could have made my tag just a little bit shorter. But doesn't that look like a lovely little gift for someone? Now I'm going to do the second one. I think I got more than one coffee filter here. Yes, I had 2. So we're going to take this and we're just going to do the same thing with our other tag. And I'm using the GIMP cord. That cord comes off of our chicken feed bags because we buy it from the Amish. And I'm going to go one step further with this jar. If I don't want to put it in a gift bag and I just want to give the soup, I'm going to take a candle ring and a small piece of poinsettia. I'm going to stuff that in the middle. And I'm going to tape it down with that stem that's on there. And then I'm going to take another piece of tape and I'm just going to make it as sticky. And so we have a nice little poinsettia decoration on the top. Now you can go ahead and put this in a cellophane bag and tie it off with a bow, or, you know, however you want to do it. But I thought that was a cute idea that saves you a lot of money. I need another piece of tape under there, I can see now. You want to really make sure it's taped down good so it doesn't come off your package. There. Now this one is going to go into a gift bag. And I'm using my gift bags that I made with the Christmas cards that are recycled. And we're just going to set that down in here. You could add some homemade crackers to this to go with. But I thought I would add a ladle and a pot holder. And so I'm just going to fold that up and put it inside my bag. Of course, you're going to stuff this with tissue paper, but I think those are lovely gifts. I have one more to show you, and I will link the recipe to this one in the description box, because this is a keto vegetable soup, and I thought that would be just lovely as a gift as well. And I made this up out of dehydrated ingredients that I had on hand. So those poinsettia flowers that come off, those fake soap flowers, you can recycle those and use them as decorations on your jars. I just think it's so pretty. Tell me in comments, what do you think about these soup recipes and gift ideas? So, soup mix in a jar makes a lovely gift, and especially when it's homemade. You know, the stores put these out, but they're not as good as when you put love in the jar. I'd like to thank Tina with Life in the Piedmont for hosting Gifts from the Home 2025. This is an open collaboration until December the 23rd, and if you're a content creator, please jump on with your gift ideas. Thank you again, my friends, and please let me know in comments what you thought, and would you try this recipe? Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.